Okay, so what does Gatorade do to your body? Gatorade was the original sports drink created in a collaboration between medical professionals and a football coach at the University of Florida. From the very start, they set out to develop a beverage that would boost the endurance and performance of athletes. The final result was a drink that delivers carbohydrates for sustained energy and replaces the fluid and electrolytes that are lost throughout heavy sweating. Minerals called electrolytes, which include sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium, are vital for your health. Electrolytes are responsible for making your muscles and nerves work. They regulate your heartbeat and maintain the proper volume of body fluids. With all of the electrolytes are eliminated from your body along with fluids, you lose more than sodium than others, especially when you sweat heavily due to activity, heat, or illness. Gatorade is formulated to replace sodium and potassium. The Gatorade G Series Thirst Quencher products supply 160 milligrams of sodium and 45 milligrams of potassium in a 12-ounce serving. Energize with carbs. Carbohydrates provide the fuel your body needs to function every day, but they're especially important for supporting muscle activity. When you exercise for more than an hour, drinking beverages that contain 13 to 19 grams of carbs per ounce served helps produce your endurance according to the American College of Sports Medicine. With 21 grams of carbs in a 12-ounce serving, Gatorade Thirst Quencher meets this carb recommendation. Drinking 1.5 cups to 4 cups of Gatorade every hour should give you the carbs needed to sustain your physical activity. Another product that provides carbs but not electrolytes, Gatorade Sports Fuel Drink, contains 25 grams of carbs in a 4-ounce serving. Staying hydrated is also very important. Water is the primary ingredient in Gatorade, which makes it a good choice for preventing dehydration. Beyond providing fluid, Gatorade has an advantage over plain water because the absorption of water depends on the presence of sodium. This means that the sodium in Gatorade improves the rate of water absorption so your body replenishes water more quickly. Sodium also helps you retain more fluid. The variety of Gatorade flavors may motivate you to drink more than regular water. Staying hydrated helps you maintain optimal athletic performance, which drops if you lose as little as 1% of your body weight due to sweating, according to Iowa State University Extensions and Outreach. Preventing muscle cramps. The ingredients in Gatorade can help you avoid muscle cramps. Sodium and potassium work together to stimulate muscle contractions. If the levels of electrolytes drop too low due to excessive loss of body fluids, you may experience muscle cramps and weakness. Dehydration can also lead to muscle cramps. In fact, not getting enough muscle fluids is the most common cause of muscle cramps during sports activities, reports Medline Plus. Once again, the combination of water and sodium in Gatorade is more beneficial than water alone because salt is often needed to help ease or prevent cramping. Consider calories and sugar. Gatorade contains sugar, which delivers the quick energy your muscle need during extended activity, but it also adds calories. This could be a drawback if you're not active enough to burn the extra calories. A 12-ounce serving of the Thirst Quencher contains 21 grams of sugar and 80 calories. Your risk for cavities increases in proportion to the amount of sugar-sweetened beverages you drink, so rinse your mouth with water as soon as possible after drinking Gatorade.
Alright, so we just learned what Gatorade is, what it's used for, what's in it, what each of those things does, and why we want to use Gatorade over other sports drinks. So why do we want to use Gatorade over other sports drinks? So I got 3 sports drinks included here. I have Gatorade, Pedialyte, and Body Armor. These are big-time competitors for Gatorade. So let's start with sodium. We learned what sodium does. It helps with muscle cramps, it helps with water retention. Obviously you want hydrated athletes. You don't want your athletes being dehydrated. So Gatorade has 270 milligrams of sodium. Pedialyte down here has 370. Well, Pedialyte's got more sodium, so why wouldn't we want Pedialyte over Gatorade? It's got more, that's what we want. Well, because it's got carbs too. Gatorade has 36 grams of carbs. Pedialyte only has 9 grams. Okay, we need these carbs. We need this amount of carbs, especially our elite athletes, all right? They're going to be doing powerful movements for a short amount of time, especially if we're talking like football and basketball, which who uses Gatorade the most? They got the most money, they got the most endorsements. When you're thinking of Gatorade sponsorships, you're thinking of football and basketball. So it's got these 36 grams of sugar. The carbs equals sugar. Sugar is used for these activities like football and basketball because it's fast, powerful movements over a short amount of time. So it uses things like your phosphagen creatine system, fast glycolysis, and slow glycolysis. All of those are anaerobic, which means they don't run on oxygen. They run on these carbs. So if you're giving your athletes these 370 milligrams of salt versus this 270, but it's got no carbs, which isn't going to fuel anything, they're not even going to have the energy for their body to process the sodium in the first place. And Gatorade has 140 calories. We know what calories are. It's heat, it's energy, which is what our athletes need. Pedialyte only has 35 calories. So right there we can tell that Gatorade, while it might be lacking in sodium, doesn't have the carbs and the calories to back up for it. It does have the calories and carbs to back it up versus Pedialyte, who doesn't. It's high in sodium, but it's not balanced enough. We got Body Armor. Body Armor is relatively new. It's getting a bunch of sponsorship athletes, but I don't even need to explain why it's bad. You can just look at the numbers here. 20 milligrams of sodium. Gatorade's got 270. Carbs, it's only got 18 grams of carbs. Gatorade, 36 grams. Calories, 140. Body Armor's only got 70. Why it's even in this infomercial, I don't know. You tell me. There's another thing I didn't put up here. Gatorade's biggest competitor is probably Powerade. I didn't even bother putting it up here because according to Healthline.com, which is like an article made by doctors, sports exercise scientists, stuff like that, and the article we looked at talked about the 10 worst sports drinks ever. Powerade was like the third one, I think, and then it had stuff like Propel and some Mayo complex drink we didn't know about. So I didn't even bother putting it up here because it's no good. And another thing is water. He talked about water a little bit. So why wouldn't we want water? Water is, all it does is hydrate you, which is what we want. We don't want dehydrated athletes. But at the level they compete at, they're already dehydrated going into the game. All right? So there's no point in giving them water if they don't have the sodium, if they don't have the electrolytes to balance it out, to hold the water in the first place. They're just going to make themselves more dehydrated. Their body's going to have to work harder. They're just going to lose it through sweat. They're going to use it through urine. They're not going to even retain any of the water. This is why the athletes need the amount of sodium and the carbs that go with the sodium that is in Gatorade versus any other sports drink.